We're going to deliver this today. Make our way south of Minneapolis, St. Paul. What you doing? You need to get a little stand done. All right, we'll come over here, check the truck out. Bailey doesn't want to go. Come on. Come on. Hook her up here. So I got to unhook the electric. Hang on a second. All right, before we crank up the truck, check things out. We're getting close to an oil change. Let me check this. Hang on a second. So usually I go about 18,000 miles. So it is right on the ad line right now. All right, I put a gallon of coolant in. I went ahead and put a half a gallon of oil in. I think we're ready to crank her up. Haven't started the truck since Friday. Alright, everything looks good there. Alright, I think we're ready to go. I'm sitting here debating which way to go. I want to go 64 all the way over to 57 or 55. 57 down to 55, go that way. But the shortest way is go down 64 out of Louisville, get on the Western Kentucky Parkway. But that's 65 down to Western Kentucky, man. It has gotten rough. I don't know if it shows up on camera or not of how rough this road is, but this concrete road is bad. Mexico is getting really bad roads on I-40 to the point where I try to go around it as much as I can. This road here is one I try to miss. It's from here to about Elizabethtown. Alright, we've been driving for a couple hours. Actually longer than that. We're at the way station over here on I-24 near Paducah, Kentucky. So they're doing some construction stuff in here. I usually park over there, but so we're gonna take a little break here. I'm gonna make some lunch. It's lunchtime. Hang on, I forgot to
You have 4 hours and 46 minutes of remaining drive time.
So, make some lunch, take Bailey out. I'm looking at loads right now. We're going to be delivering in Blytheville tomorrow morning. They got 3 loads out of Ormel, Arkansas. It's steel beams. It's been a while since I loaded over there. Matter of fact, I don't think I've ever loaded with this truck over there. But it's showing 43,000 pounds. I got 3 choices. Roanoke, Alabama, Pittsburgh, Virginia, or Charlotte, North Carolina. The Pittsburgh, Virginia pays the most, and then the Charlotte, and then the Alabama. But not necessarily looking at the pay. They all pay about the same rate per mile. It's just the distance is different. So not one of them pays more than the other. They're all pretty close for the rate per mile. But the Alabama's only going 400 miles. And that'll put me down there near Birmingham. These are book loads, meaning if I put my name on it right now, I'll get accepted and I can't change my mind. So I'm going to go ahead and do the Alabama load. So I'm going to go over here and accept. It's a book load, meaning that it's a good load. And it loads like right around the corner from where mine loaded. So all right, Roanoke, Alabama, I'm going to commit. All right, so now it says I'm accepted. So that's what we're going to do. All right, good morning. We're in Crawfordsville, Indiana right now. It's Wednesday morning. The last couple of days have been kind of rough. Things fell apart. The last time I talked to you guys, I loaded those skidded coils. I did deliver them down in Arkansas, Blytheville. And I went to pick up a reload out of Ormel, the big metal beams. There's a big steel mill over there. And it was a short load going down to Alabama. I got over there. Appointment was 11 o'clock. I tried to make this quick. Appointment was 11 o'clock. Pulled on the scale, went around to go get loaded. I was the next truck to get loaded. Handed the paperwork to the forklift guy. The forklift guy looks at me and goes, "Hang on, I got to go to the office right now." Hands me my paperwork back and just leaves me sitting there. I'm the only truck left in the lot right there. Nobody shows up for about 30 minutes. Finally, a supervisor in a pickup truck with a little flashing light on top comes by and says they've had an incident at the plant. They've closed the plant down and they're asking everybody to leave. So I had to get off the property, go to the staging area, not really knowing what was going on. Finally, word of mouth come out they had an accident, then they were going to close the plant, but they didn't know how long it was going to be closed. Was it going to be a couple hours, 6 hours, or what? I waited around, called the agent, called Mercer. Nobody knows. And I was getting extremely frustrated. So at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, after sitting there all day, meanwhile 25, 30 trucks were there, and they slowly started leaving. There was maybe 5 trucks left. And people I was calling still knew nothing. Finally, the plant puts out a message on the CB, because that's how they talk to everybody on the scales. So they said that the plant would be closed until 6 p.m. the following day. So I don't have a reload. I didn't know where to go, what to do. There's no loads in that area. There's other Mercer trucks that are in the same situation, so they're looking for loads. Couldn't find anything that would work. Nothing would work. Went to bed. My stress level was about a 12 out of 10 that night, because I hate sitting around not knowing what I'm going to do. So Tuesday morning, I look on the board. I call my coordinator, She's been real good working and everything, but she only knows what she knows. You know, nobody really kind of knew what was going on. Finally, they had a load out of Louisville, because I'm looking for the most bang for my buck now. They had a load out of Louisville going up to Minnesota. Light. It's one of our good customers out of Louisville. I said, it doesn't matter. I'm going to deadhead up there. 350 miles back up to Louisville. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is that sometimes you just have to wipe the board clean, the slate clean, and just start all over again. It wasn't worth trying to figure out something that was going on down there. So let me just go get something that I can make work. So I deadheaded back up to Louisville, picked this load up. It was perfect. It didn't load till 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That's when the appointment was. It was perfect. I got there right at 3 o'clock because I was on Arkansas time and I went back to Louisville time, which is East Coast time. So I lost an hour. So loaded it at 3. Got to be up in Minnesota tomorrow by 1. And we are now in Crawfordsville, Indiana, with about 700-800 miles to go. So that's kind of the quick rundown. Bottom line is everything fell apart, and sometimes you just have to start over again, and that's what we did yesterday. Anyway, and so we're gonna make some miles today. We've got a lot of driving today. We're gonna have a fairly easy weekend, so we just need to get over these next couple of days, and we should be pretty good to go. All right, it's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We've made it to Wisconsin. It's a big rest area. I think we're just north of Madison, Wisconsin. I'll show you guys what we got here. We're gonna take Bailey out for a quick walk. So this is what we loaded. Kind of a little bit of everything. So it's riding pretty good. Some people probably ask, why don't they put this in a van? And sometimes it's not that it won't go in a van. It's where it's delivering to. It might be a job site and they just don't have access for a van to unload a van. So they'll put it on a flatbed so they can unload it at a job site on a flatbed. But this stuff riding good. We got the axle up on our Dorsey trailer. It's a nice big parking area. It's a good looking Peterbilt there. Orange. Spread axle reefer trailer. So same theory applies with the spread axle on a van as spread axle on a flatbed. So he's allowed 40,000 pounds. He's allowed 20,000 pounds on each one of those axles. So just like me. So I have my axle up. I'm allowed 20,000 pounds on that axle. And that stuff doesn't weigh that much. So, but theoretically, so he could have 40, 34, and then whatever his front axle is rated for. So, but you don't see too many spread axle vans. Oh, Dorsey trailer is doing good. A little dirty. This stuff's riding pretty good. Check it out. Everything's looking pretty good. Alright, I gotta walk Bailey. And then we still got about another 5 hours or so to go. We gotta get some fuel. And then we'll call it quits. We're gonna try to get north of Minneapolis, St. Paul tonight. That's our goal. Alright, it's the end of the day. We're way up here in Minnesota, north of St. Paul. We drove 667 miles today. We got about 100 miles to go for tomorrow. I know it's dark out here and this camera's not the best in the dark, but I wanted to come take a look at this cab over. Hope you guys can see it. Little Peterbilt cab over. You just don't see these much anymore. Looks like that's pretty cool. Looks good. I think it's from Canada. Cool. All right, good morning. I don't know how yesterday's video ended. So if I didn't have an ending for yesterday's video, this is the ending. If not, this is the beginning of today's video. But we ended up in a rest area up here in northern Minnesota. We're on I-35, about 100 miles or so north of St. Paul. Nice little rest area, nice and quiet. I actually slept with the truck off last night, or the generator off. And as you can notice, I had to put a little jacket on this morning. Took old Bailey out for a walk. So she got to run around in a nice crisp air morning. Load's doing good. We got about 2 hours, a little over 2 hours up to where we got to deliver this stuff. We're going out way out into a mine. We're going to deliver this today, make our way south of Minneapolis, St. Paul. What you doing? You need to get a little stand done. And we're going to find somewhere to hang out. We don't load till tomorrow. So that's the end of the video if it was yesterday, and today is the beginning.